Hey everybody, it's AJ Lockyer with Disruptor Manufacturing here doing a walk around video on another new PowerStream skid setup that we've got for his company based out of Ohio. Super cool. Love their pink color scheme on their wrap. Really sticks out. Going to be very noticeable going down the road. But what I really want to highlight for you guys is this awesome skid that we built for them in the back of this truck. This is one of our brand new PowerStream skids. They've just come to pick up and going to be taken home to Ohio and getting a lot of work done. This is actually a PowerStream 3500. So you might have seen already on our channel where we have videos of a 2500 on there and you're familiar with that. But this is the 3500. So this is a little bit longer skid. It's an almost 8-foot skid. So you have to have an 8-foot pickup bed for it to go in. But this one's pretty much loaded out with all the options, going to be able to do everything. So let's go ahead and start off by looking at the heart of the system on these PowerStream skids. They are very power washer centric. So the heart of the system is always going to have a power washer at the center of it. So here we have a Honda GX690 8-gallon per minute belt drive. And that's going to be able to do a couple of things. It's going to be able to, it's completely cold water, so we're going to be able to do some typical flat surface cleaning and pressure washing with it. But then we've also got hooked up to it here this super awesome Downstream setup. So a lot of you guys are familiar with, you might have seen these metering valves, like I'm going to get into it, this 12-volt setup in a second, the soft washing, but we've adapted that over here to a downstreaming setup. And what that gives you the capability to do on this downstreaming setup is the flow on it, the suction on it is high enough with the 8-gallon per minute pressure washer that we have to actually be able to manipulate the draw on bleach and soaps with your water at the same time, like on a typical soft washing rig. Now, this is still going to have a little bit of the downsides of downstreaming in terms of being able to go vertical and do a super high strength mix on a roof like you would typically have, but for all of your flat work, your siding, anything else that you would typically downstream with, we're actually able to come in here and change our bleach percentages and our soap percentages, very similar to a roof pump setup, soft washing setup that a lot of you guys are familiar with. If we go from here just to the left, we've actually got a Phantom Shadow 80 Auto Pure water system on this rig. So here is the auto controller, and then up top you can also see the awesome two 40-inch ROs, 40-inch DI, and 40-inch carbon filters that are incorporated on that piece of equipment. This piece of equipment is super awesome. What's going to be able to give you the ability to do is you're going to be able to make pure water as well as deploy pure water. So it's got two 5-gallon per minute 12-volt pumps. One pump is doing nothing but making the pure water. And if you actually come here to the back of the truck real quick, you can see we've got this pure water tank incorporated right here at the back of the system underneath the bed rail. Doesn't take up a lot of space, very out of the way, but the 15-gallon capacity on that with the ability to make pure water quickly on this system is going to be more than enough of a buffer for just running water-fed poles, cleaning windows, stuff like that. So one 5-gallon per minute doing nothing but keeping up with that 15-gallon buffer tank, and then another 5-gallon per minute pump that's going to give you awesome trigger rinse spray distance capabilities. So there's a lot of other systems on the market where they might not use as powerful of pumps on the pure water side, that you're going to be able to use a pure water pole and actually run fluid up through your pole to multiple stories in the air, but it's really just constricted by the length of the pole, or you have to use a pole really to be able to get it that high. This certainly you can use a water-fed pole through, but also too with that designated 5-gallon per minute pump, you're going to be able to actually spray a few stories in the air, trigger rinse from the ground a 3rd-story window very effectively. So it gives you a lot of great trigger rinsing power as well as being able to use the water-fed pole. Go to the next control panel over, and we have something that we're a little bit more known for at Disruptor Manufacturing, or if you've seen any of our other companies that we work with, you'll know that we are the 12-volt soft washing people. We understand how to make all this other stuff too, and we've made awesome PowerStream power washing rigs for the rest of the industry, but this 12-volt soft washing panel is pretty cool. So just like on the Downstream, we've got 1 bleach and 3 soaps. Each one of your soaps are connected to an individual 8-gallon soap tank, and then you've got a 100-gallon bleach tank on this. So I can actually, if I wanted to, do a bleach solution and then 2 soap solutions at the same time, rather than possibly having to, if I wanted to use 2 soaps at the same time, having to figure out how to mix the soaps in one tank before I put them through the metering valve. It just really opens up your options where you don't have to screw with the math. Makes it super easy to use. Here you've actually got your number 2 is going to be to power the pump, and then the number 1, we've actually got the ability to put tank lights in this. If you want to have your tanks be able to glow at night, going down the road looks nice, but also too in low light conditions, be able to see whether or not you have fluid in your tanks. Pressure gauge is cool. Something I want to highlight too is how many companies really have their own logo on their pressure gauge. That's pretty cool. So we've actually got Disruptor Manufacturing branded pressure gauges now from us. So that's super cool, something we were recently able to do that I like to highlight. And then of course, got this nice long big shelf here, so we're able to set things on top of the side of the truck as we need to work with it. You'll notice we do have all the hose reels stacked on the rear of this truck, but with how wide these shelves are and our ability to move these control panels around to other places on the system, if you wanted to mount hose reels curbside, definitely doable. I personally love the look of having them all clean on the back like this. I like to flake my hoses straight out the back of the truck and then have nice clean working area here on the side of the truck, get to all my control panels real nice, makes it very, very effective. Now if we come around here to the back, let's talk a little bit more about the rear of the system with our power options as well as the hose reels. Let's start by talking about the hose reels. Here we've actually got our Stingray Manta electric hose reels. These hose reels are made by us at Disruptor Manufacturing here in the USA. They are completely covered with lifetime warranty on everything. Yes, including the push buttons and the solenoids, the electrical setups. See, I actually just pushed it there. But we've got awesome wand holders on here. It comes with the Stingray hose reel swivels right here if you want to come in and take a little bit closer look at those. And those are also a lifetime warranty swivel. When you purchase the piece of equipment, you get the swivel with the piece of equipment, and your swivels are covered with your purchase from Disruptor Manufacturing, that you'll only have to replace the O-rings. Other than that, it's completely covered under lifetime warranty, 3/16 stainless steel, very, very high quality. Something that we've done too is, because we do all this stuff in-house ourselves with our plastic, we were able to come in and actually label, you know, we've got soft wash reel, downstream reel, pure water reel, and then this is our garden hose water fill reel. You just pull the hose right off the truck, hook it up to the garden hose spigot, and be able to keep your 100-gallon water buffer tank topped off during the entire project. Very, very nice. Also too, underneath, we've got a very robust battery setup. So while we do have the pressure washer on here that runs off of gas, we've got a 12-volt metering soft washing setup as well as a 12-volt pure water setup. And this amount of batteries here just makes it to where, as long as they keep up with plugging the system in at night, they should never run into a situation out in the field where they're running out of battery throughout the day. More than capable to keep them up and running, probably for, you know, multiple days at a time. Also too, underneath here, for powering the pressure washer, we actually have a fuel tank hidden underneath the bed rail in this area that would normally just be a void space that wouldn't be used. We actually have a fuel tank in underneath the bed rail that is a 20-gallon fuel tank capacity. Very, very nice. Also too, when it comes to charging the batteries, we've got an AC and DC charging system underneath here. The AC charging system is a 40 amp charging system, very capable, but the DC 20 amp, it actually hooks up to the starting battery on the truck and utilizes the stock alternator as you're driving down the road. You're reutilizing that kinetic energy that the truck is already making that would have gone to waste to be able to keep these batteries topped off as you drive around. Add that in with the fact that it's also got an alternator on the pressure washer, so when you're running the pressure washer, it's helping keep the batteries topped off. When you're running the truck, it's helping keep the batteries topped off. When you get home at night to the shop, you plug it in, the 40 amp charger helps keep the batteries topped off. This truck should have no issues being able to run whenever they need it to, especially with that 20-gallon fuel tank. I mean, my car that I drive around only gets it gets like 20 miles to the gallon. It only has like a 15-gallon fuel tank on it. It's bigger than the fuel tank on my car. It's pretty cool. Another thing too I want to highlight here on the side is with that fuel tank, we actually put the gas cap for the fuel tank right here, right next to where you fill up your gas on your truck. Very, very nice to be able to pull right out of here, your gas line, put it right into there, and fill up both things on one ticket at the pump at the same time. Over here, we've got a few other little things like our flush valve for our filters. We've got a awesome electronic float valve that makes it to where the float valve is not hanging down in the tank that much, and you get that extra capacity at the top of the tank. So this water tank will go all the way up to the lid before it shuts off. So you get that true 100-gallon water tank capacity for your buffer. We've also got our awesome pumps, but this tank pan that we've got on top of here is super cool. It helps keep everything nice and neat on top, routing all the hoses, mounting our pressure washer, mounting all of our pumps, and helps to keep everything tied down onto the skid properly. But you'll notice we actually didn't put any tank straps on this system, and that helps a lot with the tank straps individually get kind of expensive, but being able to use these corner posts that will really push all the tanks in together nice and tight on the sides. Bed rails keep the tanks pushed in nice and tight on the sides. We put the tank pan on top, and everything's in there nice and tight and uniform, and holds the whole system together very nice. Also too, up here we've got flat surface cleaner rack. This has our extended ladder tracks on top of it with the headache rack going over the top of the cab, which is a super awesome feature. We do have the standard ladder tracks. That's a little bit typical, more of your east-west, just two rails up on top of the system. But when you get into stacking hose reels on the back, as well as having long ladders that you like to put over the top of the truck, having that extended ladder tracks with the rollers on it is a super, super nice upgrade. Honestly, since we did that with our systems, we have not had a single system leave our shop in the last 2 years without an extended ladder tracks on it. It is a very popular upgrade. Cool. So that is our PowerStream 3500 that is going home with the lovely people in Ohio from Teasdale Fenton. Hopefully this system will be super awesome for them, like I know it will, and they'll very, very much enjoy it. If you would like to have a system just like this one, depending on the size of the truck, this one's for a 1-ton truck. We have ones for half-ton, 3/4 ton, also even possibly as small as Ford Rangers and Chevy Colorados. Have them in all shapes and sizes, configured in all ways that you want it. This one is a top-of-the-line larger skid. If you'd like one like this or any of the other ones on our lineup, please give us a call at 407-900-2868, or you can look us up on the web at disruptormanufacturing.com. Once again, my name's AJ Lockyer with Disruptor Manufacturing. Thanks so much for watching the video, and we'll see you guys again soon.